Hi, so today we're back with Hajar here. So she is our advocacy and community development manager, as well as a trained and professional counselor. So hi Hajar, so welcome to our segment here. So today we are going to talk about mental health issues. So my first question would be, what is mental health, to be exact?
So mental health is actually a very wide term because it encompasses everything that affects our life. For example, the way we talk to people, the way we socialize, the way we see ourselves, our emotions, and all that. So it's basically is the psychological well-being of a person.
I see. Okay. So why is mental health issue is important to a certain group of people? For example, our key population, MSN, transgender, people living with HIV and all. So why is it important for them to know about mental health?
So as I have mentioned, there are two situations where I would like to answer this. The first one is mental health effect as a whole to a person. So I previously mentioned that affects everyday daily function of a person. So for an individual, it affects the way they talk to people and all that, and to a certain extent, it affects the way it affects the productivity of a person. So it's just not affecting a person, but also
the people living around the person.
The people living around them. So the best way I would explain it is like a ripple effect. So it's just not an individual's problem, but it's also a problem at large.
That means we have to understand it at a very large scale, because it affects not just the person living with depression or maybe mental health issues, but the people around it as well. Okay.
And I'm
For the
very
population.
and I'm very excited that Malaysia government is actually looking looking very strongly into this, and it's something that I think MAC as a public health organization would like to really support it. And the other aspect of mental health that I would like to clarify is in terms of the effect it has on the key population. So as we are aware, we are all aware there are 4 key populations, which are the MSM, men who have sex with men, transgender, female sex worker, and also people who live with people who inject drugs. So this key population, as well as the fact that you have HIV, a person has HIV, brings a lot of stigma and discrimination to a person. So this stigma and discrimination really affects the person, mental health well-being. So besides that, there's also issues such as addiction, relationship. We have to remember these are people with real life issues, and the thing that affects other people also affects them. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, having to understand what mental health is and why is it important for the key populations. So let's say, if I am sad every day, so how do I recognize whether I have or not mental health issue? So how do we recognize mental health issues in ourselves?
So
Problems.
it really, mental health is it's a very subjective thing. It really depends on person to person, individuals. Certain people can have mental health issue, but they're still functioning. They still can go to work, they can still socialize and all that, but you don't know what's inside that. But certain people, they're very visible. So you can see that the hunchback and the droopy eyes, and they're basically looking very sad. But as an individual, I think it's your responsibility to recognize whether you need help. So I would say that if you feel like your emotions are very overwhelmed, that you cannot handle it, then I would really suggest for you to get some kind of help.
Understood. So yeah, it is very important for us ourselves to try to recognize whether we have or not the issues and the problems, and also get help when needed.
Yeah.
True, right. So that's all for today for a very short while, and maybe in the next episode we'll dive deeper in this kind of topics like suicidal, depression and all. So maybe we'll dive deeper there in the next episode. So stay tuned with Hajra on the next episode. Bye.